Hi, are you on a GLP-1 drug and you're thinking of coming off of it, or you're kind of in a place where you're not sure what to do? I know that's kind of where I'm at. I've been on Mounjaro now for 2.5 years, kind of stuck, and I think I need to refine what I'm doing. And I am at the lowest weight I've been in 40 years, which I feel is a huge success, huge. But I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel for the GLP-1 drug. I really, truly want to see if I can go to the next dose. But I know that many people are either tired of the side effects or they have gotten to a weight that they're happy with and they want to potentially come off the drug, or they're tired of paying the money. I know that the cost, while it's lower in some ways, it's still every single month having to pay for this drug. So, how can we think about that? Let's talk about it. I'm thinking about it, and I'm sure that many people are thinking about it. So, this is MC of Healthy by George. I come each week to talk about all things about longevity and how we can be the very best version of who we are well into our 80s and 90s. That's my goal, and I hope it's yours too. So please think about subscribing. I would love to see you here each week where we can share and inspire and motivate one another to do what we need to do every single day so that we can be the best version of ourselves into the 80s and 90s. I love seeing you here. So let's talk about this whole GLP-1 dilemma. I think that this drug is truly a remarkable drug, and it's something that will continue to contribute to medical problems in ways that are unexpected, just like the weight loss situation. Originally, these drugs started out for diabetes and helping with insulin control. And one of the amazing features of what's been seen is that not only did it help control insulin, it helped start to move our weight in a way that we haven't seen in a long time with the changes in weight loss. It's been remarkable. They're calling it the Ozempic face, or there's all this kind of stuff going on in our world and in our culture about the GLP-1 drugs. And truthfully, for me, it was a real game changer. I've been fighting a weight loss problem for over 40 years, and this has been the one drug that has finally given me an inspiration to see that I can actually lose weight and change my life. Because the other way was very disturbing. It put me at risk for being heavier makes it more difficult on your joints. Being heavier makes you have a higher risk of cancers. There's so many things with being heavier that is not really in the best benefit of our longevity. So I was truly hopeful when I started this journey 2.5 years ago, and I've seen success that I haven't ever seen, and it's wonderful. But I do know this, it's not a single one and done. When just taking the medicine is not the answer. I know that it's going to always be about a calorie deficit. It's always going to be about eating whole foods and tracking my weight and tracking. I track my weight, I track my blood pressure, I track my foods, the quantities I eat, the quality I eat. And I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody is. It's difficult to be perfect unless you're my brother. My brother is amazing. I don't know how he does it. He's cut out all carbs and all refined sugars, like all of them. And he's continuing to do this in a very disciplined and, I think, disciplined way. So much so that I'm not sure how fun he'd be around to eat a meal out at a restaurant. I'd be worried that he's looking at every bite I take, that he's thinking to her, why is she eating that piece of bread? Listen, every person to their own ways, right? And I don't blame my brother. He has a cardiac risk and he's facing it with, I think, the best approach, which is, guess what? Nutrition. When we have any kind of medical condition that we're at risk for, one of the first things that we can do is improve our nutrition by eating whole foods, avoiding processed foods, avoiding those things that are simple carbs. And that's what he's done. And it's been remarkable. He's lost a great deal of weight and he is being very fastidious about how he uses his time and his attention when it comes to his diet and his movement. Those two things we cannot avoid. You must move and you must eat nutritious whole foods. Those are two key components to being the best version of who we're going to be. Now, it's not going to be something you just boom, you do it overnight. I like to exercise, don't get me wrong, but when you haven't been moving for a long time, like me because of my surgeries, lifting up that bar and moving more than you've done in a while really is a challenge. And until you get things going, it's not simple. And I'm feeling it now because I've been extraordinarily committed for 2 months since January. Been doing my morning exercise routine, and I've been doing an extra routine in the afternoon of either cardio or weights. Tonight is a cardio, 5 or 6 minutes. And I've been doing 5 minutes for January, February, and now we're increasing it to 10 slowly. In March, we're increasing my extra exercise for 10 minutes in addition to walking the dog. So I'm very proud of myself. I can feel the difference. I feel stronger when I'm walking. I feel stronger when I'm doing things. I'm feeling more capable. Listen, it's all a win-win. So however you have to get it so that you're moving more during the day, make it happen. For me, I have to do it in these 5-minute bites, little 5-minute bites throughout the day, and I can tolerate it. Eventually, I will maybe get back to the gym. I don't know. The gym is a little intimidating for me. So there's the key. When it comes to long-term use of GLP-1 drugs, I don't know if I'm going to be one of those people who totally comes off the drug. I definitely see a difference, mainly because of what my experience was coming off of it for my surgery and then having to suddenly come on off of it for a second surgery and then being off of the drugs for 2 to 3 months extended over the summer. I was very proud of myself. I only gained 5 pounds from what I had lost. I did notice that my hunger did increase. But I was very mindful about the calorie intake. High protein and vegetables were my focus. Yes, did I eat some carbs, but they were not simple carbs, so that was good. We have to be mindful in a holistic way when it comes to our health. And if you're like me, someone who's had a weight problem for many years, there's a lot of things involved in that weight problem. It's not just about the weight. It sometimes is about emotional eating. It sometimes is about old behaviors and old habits and things that come up that remind you or trigger you or whatever. You know what? Sometimes we just have to embrace where we are, acknowledge it, journal about it. If you're a journaler like me, get your journal out. I got mine out right here, and explore how we can change ourselves in how we interact with food choices. And I've been practicing more mindfully eating, like really paying attention to the taste of the food, the size of my portions, how does it feel in my mouth when I'm chewing, or how does it look on my plate? Does it look appetizing? You know, all of those things count to making us more aware of our body's fullness, which is something I've never had a good experience with until I started taking a Mounjaro. When I started taking Mounjaro for the very first time, I started having a sense of, I'm full. Oh my God. It was so new to me. Also, too, this chatter about food. When can I eat next? Or when is food going to happen in the background? I don't think I really realized how much that was going on in my mind until I recognized when Oprah was talking about it in her show that it was there. And when you don't have the medicine, it comes back. So I don't want the chatter to come back. So if I have to go on some kind of low maintenance dose till the end of my life, I'll be okay with it because I see how other things that people have, there's some indications that this drug could be helpful for our heart health. It's already been shown to be helpful for sleep apnea. And there are some things that people are looking at when it comes to addiction that GLP-1 drugs can help with. So I think the best approach, if you are someone who's wanting to come off or reduce your dose, is you have to have a conversation with your doctor. See what's best for you. Maybe what you have to do is become more mindful of the kinds of food you're eating, the quantity you're eating, and how much you're moving throughout the day. Maybe if instead of paying attention to when you have to give yourself the medicine, what are you doing every day to support your body and your health with nutrition and movement? I know for me, I do that. I have this app called Lose It. And it's not, oh, I have two apps. I use Pacer and I use Lose It. And both of them help me just track what's the average amount of calories and what's the average amount of movement and walking and steps. And those are the things that I keep track of. I also do one little extra. I keep track of how much protein and sugar and carbs I'm consuming. And one of the things I really realized earlier is that when I'm eating the Ezekiel bread that's got the cinnamon raisins in it, I did not realize that 2 slices of that was 10 grams of sugar. Not sure I want to consume that much sugar in my bread. So I'm starting to change that and make it something that has less sugar in it in the sprouted breads. I know I like that, but I think I have to see that as something occasional instead of something I use all the time. So I've ordered a different Ezekiel bread this time for my groceries. I think there's always going to be, if you're someone like me who's had health challenges with your weight and you have some kind of metabolic disorder that's been going on, I have a diagnosis of PCOS, and I think sincerely it is something that I will always give attention to. How much sugar am I consuming? How much protein? How much carb? I seriously think that is tremendously beneficial for me. Now, I'm not so rigid. If I miss a day, okay, so be it. Or if I'm not exact, I've thought about maybe getting one of those apps where you take a picture of the food that you're eating and it tells you automatically the calorie and the macros and micros or something. But I really love learning. I'm curious about foods. I'm curious about their content. I'm curious about how it affects me as feeling satisfied when I'm eating, because it's really important. Enjoying my food, because I am a foodie. I do like to enjoy what I eat. So we all have to find ways to figure out for long term what is going to work for us, for each of us. And that, I think, is a conversation with your doctor, because we can't just stop this drug suddenly. I don't think that's in our best benefit. Maybe it's something where you gradually come off and try and experiment what helps you. And maybe you do come all the way off and then you come up with a plan that looks more at tracking your weight and your nutrition and your movement, giving it more attention versus making sure that you're taking your medicine. We all have to figure out something that is going to keep us mindfully engaged in our health. It is the most important thing that we can do, because in the end, health is wealth. I'm learning this more and more. I have a dear friend who had a circumstances where she ended up in the hospital, and she's so much younger than I am, and I'm very disturbed by it, but it was one of those fluke things that no one can predict, right? We can't predict sometime what's going to happen with our health. So why not give ourselves the best version of who we are that we can make happen, so that if there are things unexpected that show up, that we're giving ourselves a foot forward. So this is MC of Healthy by George. Please think about subscribing. I would love to see you here each week, because truthfully, we have one precious life. Let's live it intentionally so that we can be the very best version of who we are into our 80s and 90s. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for joining me at Healthy by George. I hope you found the information inspiring and that it encourages you on your wellness journey, Because remember, your body, your well-being are a most precious gift, and every tiny action taken daily can make a huge difference. I hope the information here is educational purposes and is not meant to replace your medical care. See your doctor and talk about what works for you. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continuing creating content that inspires and empowers you to live your best life. Goodbye for now, and join me again at the next Healthy by George.